They took my prosthetic because I missed a payment. What 200 angels did next shocked everyone. It was a cold Tuesday morning in early February 2026 when Sam Jenkins sat alone in the corner booth of Lou's Diner, his hands trembling around a lukewarm cup of coffee. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting harsh shadows on his weary face. His right pant leg was pinned neatly above the knee, a silent testament to the sacrifice he'd made for his country in Afghanistan 10 years earlier. But today, it wasn't just his missing leg that weighed him down. It was despair. Just 3 days prior, representatives from Ascend Prosthetics had shown up at his modest apartment and taken back his prosthetic limb. Not because it was defective, not because he no longer needed it, but because his VA disability check had been delayed by a week and he'd missed a single $350 payment on his financing plan. Without that leg, Sam couldn't walk to the bus stop, couldn't get to his part-time job at the hardware store, couldn't even stand long enough to cook himself a meal. He was trapped, physically, financially, emotionally. Across the diner, Rook, Ironheart, Malone leaned against the counter, sipping black coffee from a chipped mug. A grizzled veteran himself and road captain of the Vultures Motorcycle Club, Rook had seen more than his share of war and its aftermath. He noticed Sam's hollow eyes, the way he winced every time someone walked past his table. Curious, Rook slid into the booth opposite him. "You look like you've been through hell twice over, brother," Rook said gently. Sam hesitated, then broke. Through tears, Rook told him everything. The late check, the repossession, the shame of being left helpless in his own home. "They took my leg like it was a damn car, like I'm not even human." Rook's jaw tightened. He pulled out his phone and dialed Bear, the president of their chapter. "Bear? Yeah, it's bad. Real bad. We got a brother in trouble. Vet. Lost his prosthetic over a missed payment. Yeah. Ascend Prosthetics. You remember that place downtown with the glass doors? Good. Get everyone, now." Within 2 hours, the quiet streets outside Lou's Diner rumbled with the thunder of engines. One by one, then in waves, 200 members of the Iron Vultures roared into the parking lot, leather vests adorned with American flags, unit patches, and the words "No Brother Left Behind." They parked in perfect formation, dismounted in unison, and marched, not as bikers, but as soldiers answering a call. Locals stopped in their tracks. Shopkeepers peered through windows. Children pointed in awe. This wasn't a gang. This was an army of compassion. At the front stood Bear, a mountain of a man with a silver beard and eyes that had stared down death more than once. He placed a massive hand on Sam's shoulder. "You're one of us now, son, and we don't let our own suffer." The convoy rolled toward Ascend Prosthetics like a storm rolling in off the plains. Engines growled, chrome gleamed under the winter sun. When they arrived, the receptionist paled and fumbled for the phone. But before she could dial security, Bear stepped forward. "We're here for Sam Jenkins' leg, and we're paying his debt in full."
Henderson, the branch manager, emerged from his office, flustered. "This is private property. You can't just—" "We can," Rook interrupted, stepping beside Bear. "And we will. That man served this country. You took his mobility over $350. Now you're going to give it back, or we'll make sure every news outlet in the state knows how Ascend Prosthetics treats heroes." Silence fell. Henderson glanced at the sea of leather-clad men glaring through the glass doors. He swallowed hard. 10 minutes later, Sam's prosthetic was returned, cleaned, polished, and placed gently into his arms. Bear handed Henderson an envelope stuffed with $5,000 in cash from the club's emergency fund. "Consider this a donation," Bear said, "and a warning." But the story didn't end there. News of the biker rescue went viral. Within days, national headlines read, 200 bikers storm prosthetics company to save disabled veteran. Public outrage forced Ascend Prosthetics to overhaul its repossession policies nationwide. No longer would veterans or disabled individuals risk losing life-changing medical devices over minor payment delays. More importantly, Sam's life began to heal. The Iron Vultures didn't just ride away after their mission, they adopted Sam as family. They helped him navigate the VA bureaucracy, secured him proper benefits, and even connected him with a top-tier prostheticist who fitted him with a new, custom-made leg. This one designed to eliminate the chronic pain he'd endured for years. So, with Rook and Bear by his side, he founded the Soldiers Ride Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to providing emergency financial aid to veterans facing crises like his. Rent assistance, medical bills, prosthetic payments. No veteran would be left behind again. And the Iron Vultures became its beating heart. Every month, they organized charity rides across state lines, raising thousands. They hosted barbecues, auctions, and motorcycle shows, all in the name of service after service. 1 year later, on a crisp February morning, much like the one that started it all, Sam stood on a stage in front of hundreds at the first annual Soldiers Ride rally. He looked out at the sea of bikes, flags, and brothers and sisters who had become his lifeline. I used to think my war ended when I came home, but the real battle was staying seen, staying valued, staying human. These men, these angels on motorcycles, reminded me that I matter. And now, together, we're making sure every veteran knows they're not alone. Tears glistened in Rook's eyes as he revved his engine in salute. Bear raised a fist, and 200 bikes roared in unison, a thunderous promise echoing across the sky. We ride for those who served. We fight for those who fall. And we never, ever leave a brother behind. If this story moved you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more stories of hope, courage, and second chances to light. Tell us in the comments, where are you watching from, and have you ever witnessed kindness change a life? Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. They wear leather vests and ride with purpose. Thanks for watching.